The following presentation is property of Paradigm. Any duplication or distribution of this footage is punishable by termination. You have been warned.
Project Kaiser. Personal log. Subject, Homo sapiens rex. Ever since I made the decision to revive Kaiser, I've been faced with one failure after another. Every subject mutates into a Crosby within hours. A subject spent, data discarded, time wasted. Yet I don't stop. I can win this war. I've won it before. Homo sapiens rex, my accidental masterpiece. She was one of 3 embryos I created artificially for the original Project Kaiser 23 years ago. Using a specially designed strain of the Theros virus, her DNA was intertwined with that of the Tyrannosaurus rex. Of the 3, she was the only one who survived gestation. The night Homo sapiens rex was born lives so vividly in my memory. I should have seen the signs. Her genetic code was perfect. Her vitals were stable, yet I was blinded by one glaring issue: albinism. While it appeared to be a simple lack of pigmentation, it was in actuality a random mutation, a genetic defect. I mapped out every one of her chromosomes myself. This should not have happened. I took it as a sign that human and dinosaur genes were inherently incompatible. I terminated Kaiser, destroyed my work. I couldn't risk it leaking to the public. As for the subject herself, she was too much of an investment to destroy, and too much of a liability to let walk free. So, I reached a compromise. I designed a drug, a genetic suppressant that would keep her tyrannosaur traits in remission as long as she kept taking them. She was placed under the care of the idiot who carried her to term. Her surrogate was an alcoholic nursing student who almost certainly used her stipend to buy beer. Not my first choice, but she had a functional womb, which was all that mattered. The subject spent most of her life not knowing her true nature. 10 years later, the subject now goes by Mara, a name more befitting of a cocktail waitress than the scientific achievement of the century, but I digress. Mara ended up crossing paths with Petra, my youngest daughter, at school. I never intended for Mara to become friends with Petra, but it was a welcome surprise. Their sisterly bond kept Mara tethered to my home. She slept under my roof, ate at my table, and over the years I was able to observe her at every stage of her life. This brings us to today. Mara is now hiding beneath a red visor as this White Death vigilante, and in an unforeseen series of events, she has since learned of her origins. Now that she is unbound by her suppressants, I see that I was gloriously wrong. Her abilities exceed even my wildest estimates. Her muscular density allows her to lift upwards of 80 tons, and her agility and reflexes surpass anything ever recorded in humans. Her tyrannosaur heritage also grants her enhanced senses of smell, hearing, and sight. She can pick up scents from miles away, hear even the most subtle of noises, and predict another person's movements by seeing the twitches in their muscles. In fact, her eyesight is so acute that I theorize she may be able to pick up on ultraviolet distortions and see colors that we don't even have names for. But the most remarkable of all her abilities, what I created her for, is her healing. I have seen Mara be hurled through concrete walls, mauled by predators, and even impaled by rebar, and yet she gets right back up. She never stops. Her wounds, no matter how severe, almost always heal within minutes. She is the key to curing even the deadliest of diseases. What astonishes me the most is that she has seemingly forged some kind of bond with a specimen of Tyrannosaurus rex. The T-Rex is an intelligent and social animal, but they're notoriously aggressive toward humans. Mara stands alongside this beast as if they were kin. This wasn't in my design. She was specifically meant to blend in with humans. This phenomenon is unexplainable, at least with the current data. However, in spite of her scientific importance, her personality is rough. To say she's ill-suited for subtlety is an understatement. She's hot-tempered, addicted to adrenaline, and sarcasm is seemingly her native tongue. She's the perfect blend of the two most significant organisms to ever walk this planet. But you're more likely to find her leaping from a building while listening to some trashy punk rock band. Not to mention her illogical moral code. She seems to be incapable of passing by a cry for help. On the surface, this is noble, but she has become a divisive figure on this island. Mara has amassed quite the crowd of supporters, but twice as many who vilify her. She regularly risks her life for those who would sooner spit on her. So why does she do it? Why does she waste her potential acting as this city's sheepdog for a crowd of cretins who fail to acknowledge her significance? Regardless of Mara's self-righteous moral code, I will never lose sight of what she is. She is the proof that Kaiser can succeed, a proof of concept, a milestone in my legacy. I did it once. I can do it again. Cross-species genetics are the future, and I will not stop until I have perfected them. Next time, it will be flawless.